mention it to somebody else. Say that, hey, I bumped into your camera and there's an issue, baby. Maybe, just maybe, when you go to get on tomorrow, there's going to be an issue. Why wouldn't somebody mention that? I can't even fathom what goes through
Woosa,
people's heads.
Woosa, rub your earlobes.
And
Mike Lowry, Mike
I don't touch
Lowry.
anybody else's shit here. Nobody's stuff. Um, good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Man, I was enjoying that rant.
It's unbelievable, Derpy. Like I said, I have one thing in here. Don't touch it. One, my camera. And I come in here and I sit down and I should be able to push two buttons and be connected. But no, I got to take things apart and move things around. It's unbelievable. I'm just going to go around here and touch everybody's shit, just slightly move it. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the 2 Yinzers. This is episode 271. What's going on today, guys?
I am loving it. Terrell Edmonds is gone.
Please tell me what's going on with Terrell Edmonds. I did not see.
Well, we got.
I didn't see it either.
He tweeted out the salute emoji, and then he had like something up on there like where he thanked all of his teammates and the Steelers
join his brother.
organization. Oh man, him and Jaquan Brisker in the same defensive backfield. I like that.
Where's he at?
We know Derpy's saying he might be joining his brother. His brother went to Chicago. In Chicago, they already have Jaquan Brisker in their secondary. That would be a nice little get right there. I'm trying to find out where he went. I don't know, nothing official yet. Just about like he's been saying goodbye. I haven't seen anything official.
Look into that, Mike. I'm
looking up. I'm looking up right now. Yeah,
I got to do something. I got to do my picks, guys, because today we have games coming on, and I don't want anybody to say that I'm unfairly making my picks. So I'm going to jump right into this while Mike continues to look at that. Of course, we got Derpy's Final Four picks on Monday. We got Mike's Final Four picks on Tuesday. Today, I'm going to do my Final Four picks. First game of the week is going to be today. I'm sorry, at 6:30. It's going to be 3 Kansas State at 7 Michigan State. I'm taking Michigan State in this one. The second game today is going to be 4 UConn versus 8 Arkansas. I'm going to go Arkansas in this one. This game is at 9 o'clock. The third game of today is at 9 o'clock this evening. It's 4 Tennessee versus 9 Florida Atlantic. I'm sticking with Tennessee. And finally, the last game of the day is going to be at 9:45 tonight, guys. 9:45. I know that's past everybody's bedtime, but you know what? UCLA is the second seed, and they're going against number 3 Gonzaga. I got to go with the Zags.
The Zags.
And that is for that part of the bracket. Let me jump down to the next part, and then I'll get into my Final Four. Friday, the first game, the one that's at 6:30 p.m. is number 1 Alabama versus number 5 San Diego State. I'm going Alabama. Second game of the day would be 7:15. 1 Houston versus 5 Miami. I'm going Houston on this.
Ooh.
You know what? At this point, I think you already got. When you get a couple of number 1s eliminated, the other ones tend to go far for some reason. I don't know what that's about, so I'm going to stick with my number 1s at least to this point. The third game tomorrow is going to be at 6:30, which is 6 Creighton versus 5 Princeton. I got to go Creighton. I can't ride this Princeton train any longer. And finally, the last game of the week, Friday night, before we get into the weekend games, is 2 Texas versus 3 Xavier. I'm going Xavier on this one.
Ooh, Xavier.
Yes. So my Final Four is going to be, let's see, Michigan State and Tennessee. What am I even looking at here? I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to figure out, does Michigan State play Tennessee or do they play the winner of UConn and Arkansas? Does anybody have a bracket in front of them?
They play Michigan State.
Michigan State, if they win, if they beat Kansas State, who will they play, Derpy? What two teams? If Michigan State beat Kansas State today, I'm sorry, who do they play?
Tennessee, if that's who you chose.
Okay, so Michigan State versus Tennessee, Arkansas versus Gonzaga. Michigan State, Tennessee. I am going to say Tennessee. Let's see, Arkansas,
Rocky
Gonzaga.
Top.
What's that?
Rocky Top.
Rocky Top. Let's see, Arkansas versus Gonzaga. I got to stick with my Zags.
Yeah.
My tomorrow games, Alabama, Creighton. I got to go Alabama. And then finally, Houston, Xavier. I'm sticking with Xavier, down to one number 1 seed. So my final 4 guys is Tennessee, Gonzaga, Alabama, Xavier. I don't know which ones have because I'm a fucking mess today and I don't know what anybody's got. But I do have recorded somewhere in my disaster.
Oh, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually.
We have all 3 Final Fours figured out. Mike, also some other big news. Penn State's head coach. Did you see this? He is gone. Micah Shrewsbury goes to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. What a school to lose your head coach to, huh?
Yeah, he's going to go to.
That's a big pickup for the Irish stuff.
Absolutely,
a huge pickup. What? Good for him. He's Penn State basketball is always going to be second tier there, and you hate to see him go for what he did, and I'm hoping it just came down to they offered him a better number than Penn State.
You know what pisses me off about this, Mike? Today I'm going to talk about a bunch of things that piss me off because everything is pissing me off. Okay, the thing that pisses me off about this, Penn State, you finally get this good season. I mean, you're one game away from the Sweet 16. I would do everything that it took to keep this man in power. And here's the thing, yes, basketball is always going to be second tier to the Penn State football team, but you finally, after all these years, you get something that works. I words to keep this guy in the head coaching spot at Penn State. And again, I mean, if at the end of the day, it's like, if you want, it's okay, we're going to give him up because we don't, it's second tier. Then why are we even doing it? You know what I mean? I just think that I wish that Penn State would have did something to keep him, just to show that
you never know. You never know. Like,
is he the head coach job for Irish, or
I don't even know. Is it
the head coach job for? Yeah, he'll be the head coach there, and you never know. It wouldn't surprise me.
The old guy. Though.
Yeah, that guy retired. His last game was when they beat.
Sorry, he isn't with us anymore.
But no, I have a feeling Notre Dame backed up the Brinks truck.
I'm sure.
And was this shoveling NBC money at him, going, "What do you want? What do you want?" And Penn State's like, "There's no way they can compete with that."
Yeah.
And I'm almost 100% positive. An offer was made, probably a good offer, but a better offer comes along where there's a longer history of support for the program, and maybe this, what Penn State, this will be the stepping in the right direction for that program. Like, hey, we're going to move forward. Our basketball team's going to be good, but hey, we lost this coach, but it's hard now. You're competing with, a known basketball program when you're not. So it kind of sucks for the now, but I'm hoping, Penn State saw what happened at the basketball team this year. They get another coach in who can continue what Shrewsbury started.
My problem is this.
Sometimes, coaches come and go in every sport and every team. You just hope the next guy come in that can build on that success.
My problem is this. People are giving Notre Dame too much credit. They're not a basketball. They're a football school. And here's the thing about the Big Ten. I mean, they don't have these great teams. So if you're finally starting to compete in the Big Ten, I would certainly try to encourage that to continue. You know what I mean? Okay, let's say every so often you get this Michigan State team that's good. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not this great basketball college. You're one game away from the Sweet 16. I mean, they could have really won this game. I think we agree on that. Penn State, the last game they played. I would do everything I could to keep that momentum going, right?
Unless he's thinking, he'll get better exposure at Notre Dame.
All right.
They'll be on TV more for their basketball program. It's a more well-known program than Penn State when it comes to basketball. So I have no, it sucks to see him go, but I'm just hoping that the guy they bring in next, will just continue what Shrewsbury did. And that's going to force the university to pay more attention to the
And
basketball
I'm
program.
not. It's not the first time that Penn State has been, somewhat successful in basketball. But you know what? It's the first time that I, really just got pulled into it and thought, you know what, this team is good. They can make a run. I followed them. I watched the games, and it's just like that pound, the dude that put it all together, the guy that ran the team is gone, and that just it's a weird vibe that I get from them, and I would like to see that continue, but we'll see. Maybe the next guy could come along and do well. Also, Mike Derpy, remember the other day I was telling you about Cyclone Larry, this guy from over in Iowa State, this nut that wants to taser his nuts.
Yeah.
You want to hear something else? You guys want to hear something else? He didn't do it, but I have more interesting scoop on that story. It's not Cyclone Larry, but this is from his name is Darius Bieber. Okay, Darius Bieber, and he's from somewhere over. It's from the Cyclone Fanatic page. So he's with someone within Iowa State. All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, this is from Darius Bieber from the Cyclone Fanatic. Excuse me. No disrespect to the Panthers. I'm a firm believer that Pittsburgh beating them is a huge fluke and robs the Cyclones of truly accomplishing what they're capable of. I spent the last few days in pure disbelief, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I've spent the entire regular season watching the Cyclones play. Great defensive basketball. It's just not fair. If the Cyclones lose again, I would now they want to do a redo, okay? Because in the title it says redo. Cyclones and Pitt should redo their game. Okay, if the Cyclones lose again in the redo, I will face the Panthers deserve to win. But I'm 100% sure it was a fluke and does a big disservice to the Cyclones in the NCAA tournament.
Someone's salty.
These people in Iowa State, they on another planet? What's going on?
I love it. I
don't recall them ever doing anything.
Never play a sport before? You know what I mean? What's the deal with these guys?
Like you just want to keep playing until you get the results you want.
That's
what this guy sounds like. This guy needs help. And I didn't want to read the
Both
title
of them
first. Need help, man.
I didn't want to read the title first. I wanted to give you the content, but listen to the title. Should the NCAA have the Cyclones and Panthers redo their game in case it was a big fluke? That was Darius's his headline.
So every game should be replayed.
You're Iowa State, though. Iowa State. You haven't done nothing.
No one cares about Iowa State.
I don't even know what conference Iowa State's in, to be honest with you.
When it matters, you never show up. So what's the point?
Why
are we putting that on the social media?
They should put the Packers back in Super Bowl 45 and make them play the Steelers again. I don't feel that one was fairly.
They should. Let's run it back, boys. Let's run it back.
Have you ever heard anything like this, guys?
No, I have not. And I complete and utter clown show.
It is
I love it.
And as Derpy is saying, who is this Iowa State anyway? They literally have won nothing in my life. I'm sure I've heard the name, of course, but come on, what has this team ever done to make one even have these kind of illusions? If maybe something good was really happening for them, I don't recall anything ever good happening for them. But what a clown show, huh?
It is a huge clown show. People like this, they make me feel better about myself that I'm not that delusional.
Yeah, when I think I am delusional, I have to remember people like this because that what a fucking nut. So that's my college basketball for today, guys. I do want to say congratulations and good luck to the Lincoln Park Leopards, the Aliquippa Quips, and the Blackhawk Cougars. They are going to Hershey, Mike, the three teams from right here in our valley. They're going to Hershey to play for the state championship game this weekend in high school basketball.
I like it.
And the highlight I was telling you about 2 days ago on the show that I thought was Nelly Cummings dunking, it was his little bro, Brandon Cummings. And this dude here is he committed to Pitt. So we'll be seeing him real soon playing in Oakland.
I can't wait. He's
a little beast, man. And everybody knows Aliquippa, of course. So good luck. Good luck to all them teams. Hope you guys bring back the gold.
Yes. Rooting for them all.
Absolutely. Guys, let's see. Penguins, big win.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing about the Penguins, Mike, before I even get started. like I said, I'm just in a mood. Let me just go. This team comes out last night and they beat the shit out of the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, they beat them up.
Yeah.
The announcers were saying this was the best complete game that the Penguins played all year. And last week against the worst team in the East, at least the Montreal Canadiens, we couldn't do anything. Please explain to myself and everybody else, Mike, what's going on with this team? Because it seems like on any given night that they could come out and they could be the Pittsburgh Penguins and impose their will on opposite teams. But then on the very next night, they could come out and look like they've never played hockey before. I can't believe the game that was played last night was played by the same team that lost the 4 games in a row prior to this game.
I don't understand it either. Like I saw a tweet. I'm going to paraphrase it here because I'm going to butcher it. It was like, inexcusable losses and unbelievable wins. It's something along those lines. Like they lose to this Montreal team that they should have mollywopped, curb stomped, marched a mud hole in their ass and stamped it dry type of thing. And then they come out against Colorado where the way they were playing leading up to this game, you're thinking the Avalanche defending Stanley Cup champs. Here we're
going to lose 5 in a row tonight.
Yeah, yes. let's pad some stats. Let's get some end of the season points here to get some bonuses in our checks, boys. And then Jeff Carter scoring goals.
What do you? He had 2 goals, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 2 goals, and then Crosby just being Crosby.
Oh, don't. We're going to talk about him.
We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
And how when we get to it, this is something like because him and Nathan McKinnon are boys. They hang out the offseason. This is something like they're gonna be hanging out offseason, working out. Crosby's just gonna go. Remember that goal?
Oh, we beat them both times we played them. If I'm not mistaken.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. Like teams that we should beat, we lose to. Teams we should lose to, we come out and we're looking like world beaters. We're looking like we can contend for a playoff win, playoff series win at least. I'm not saying a championship, but this team last night looked like they can do something. They played smart hockey, situational hockey, defensemen pinching when they should, just staying back when they shouldn't, and people rotating and covering for each other. It was, where's this team been?
It was truly unbelievable. I wasn't even going to watch the game entirely, but then it started, and then good things started happening. And I thought, wow, you can't not watch this. Mike, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable to see the Penguins. They come back tonight. Mike, we have a chance to get back in this tonight. We have Dallas. We're down in Dallas at 9:00 tonight. So back-to-back nights. I'm sure Jari won't be playing, but somehow he got the win last night. Who knows? We'll see what we can do tonight. If this team could come out tonight and play the way they did last night, we're right back in things. But it's such a bipolar squad. It's either one or the other. It's never anything in between. It's either you're the worst playing team in the league or you're the best playing team in the league. That's what scares me about the Penguins. I'd love to see a little bit more gray area with these guys, man.
Yeah, because I was just going back through their schedule and with that 7-game losing streak, a 5-game losing streak, another long losing streak. And then you had a couple small runs of wins here, then a bunch of win, loss, win, two, lose one, win, two, lose one. It's like they are all over the place. If they could ever play the same game in, game out, their record would be a whole hell of a lot better.
They're confusing.
They are. But once again, you can always count on like 5 guys to play the same game in and game out. It's everyone else around them. Like in this game, finally, Jeff Carter and Brian Dumoulin did something.
Yeah.
It was like about time. Speaking of Jeff Carter, did you see his comments after the game?
I'm not sure what were they.
The media was asking about him. He was asked a question about, his play and how it's being received. Oh, I don't pay attention to what you guys write. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you do. If you have to say that, you're hearing and seeing and reading everything said about you.
Right.
And it took you this long to finally do something to respond.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. It's like, I can't wait till this guy's done. We have another year of this guy.
We got one more year with Jeff Carter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, even if they cut him, he retired. If he, I don't even think they can cut him because he has no movement clause. They can't do anything with him. But if he retires,
gave him this contract anyway.
Hextall.
Oh,
but yeah, they're stuck with him. If he retires, guess what? His salary cap still counts against the books.
Oh, Mike.
Maybe he can have a nice play down the stretch and they can trade him in the offseason. Maybe they'll fool some team into taking him. There's got to be a GM out there dumber than Hextall.
Maybe they can fool somebody into taking him. That's what I'm going to run with.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Sidney Crosby, the captain, guys. Sidney Crosby. Now, before I even get started, Sidney Crosby scores the first goal of the game for the 104th time in his career last night. 8th time this season. And that's just getting started. That's not even talking about his accomplishments. That's just scoring the first goal of the game, is it?
Yeah.
Mike. Also, let's see. What else did he got going on? He 2 days ago, I just want to catch up on this. He was voted by players. He was the most complete player for 4 years in a row. 4. And also last night, a big feat was accomplished when Sidney Crosby. Now, Mike, he is the 10th player to score 30 goals 11 times with one team. Am I saying that correctly?
I believe that is what it is. Yes.
And to make it even sweeter, this 30 goals, he's the first player in NHL history to score 30 goals in a season at 18 years old. And then again at plus 35 years old.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
No, not a bad career. He's, this kid might be something someday.
Yeah. So there you have it. I mean, it's certainly not because Sidney Crosby ain't any good is why we're not playing good. I think, every time Mike tells us what the problems are, and it's, the coaching and the team that's just not, I think that's the answer because, and you could do this with all three of their big, the three-headed monster. And let me give you a little, blow a little smoke up the three-headed monster's ass. Crosby, Malkin, and Letang have all been together for 17 seasons. That's tied with Derek Jeter, Jorge Posada, and El Duque Riviera for the longest tenured trios in major league and major sports history here in North America. Crosby, Malkin, Letang is tied with Jeter, Posada, and Riviera. That's pretty impressive. And considering they stay around for another season, they are going to be the longest, Mike, the longest trio in the 4 major sports in this country in the history to be on the same squad. Is there anything in the contracts that's going to mess that up, or does that seem like it's a possibility for next season?
No, they're all signed through next season.
Okay.
At least. Yeah. I think Letang's 2 more after, Malkin's 2 more after, I think.
Wow.
They signed for like 2 to 3 year deals. So, and Sid's locked up for a while too, for another year or 2. So they'll all be back next year. Wild. Who would have thought that this is hard in in a salary capped era.
And here's the thing too.
Keep players that long.
People we complain. People complain. We complain. I complain. Why isn't this team winning Stanley Cups? Why haven't they won a playoff game in 7 years? But you know what? At the end of the day, they scored. They won 3 Stanley Cups.
Yeah,
they were together 17 seasons. They have all these records. So at the end of the day, we're just complaining to complain because they've accomplished so much more than any team has ever accomplished. So much more than any team other teams are ever going to accomplish. What they've done. We might as well just sit back and smile and be excited with what these guys accomplished, Mike, because again, this is, they've done amazing things. And for us to sit around and be pissed off that we're not winning the cup every year, that's a Pittsburgh thing. I'm sure it is.
Oh, most definitely. We are a spoiled franchise and fan base.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to hockey too. You just look at all the greats that have come through here. 3 Stanley Cups. They made it to a 4th cup final. 3 out of 4's not bad at all.
No,
my God. The first team in the cap era to win back-to-back. This, and these guys have played at high levels. Imagine what they could have done if Sid didn't, wasn't headhunted in his career, where they could have been. And, they probably had at least 1 or 2 more cups. But 3 out 3, that's not bad. at all. It's like every 5 years you're winning a Stanley Cup.
Right.
You know, every 5 to 6 years you're a champion. I will take that, over someone's career. My God. And I just want to talk about that Crosby goal.
Yeah. Just nasty, man.
A backhander from that far out.
He looks like a basketball player playing hockey. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the way he moves and he could cut and unbelievable.
68 miles an hour he got on that backhand. Like, people who don't know hockey, shooting like a backhand shot, those things are hard to. You don't have the accuracy. You can't get the power on it. That thing was a top shelf snipe from the backhand, and the way Crosby almost plays with like a straight stick. It is so weak, the curve on that thing, and just how he was able to lift the puck that far out, and just a beautiful, beautiful goal. Go look it up, everyone. It was a thing of beauty.
To find the spot to put the puck from backhand from 60 miles per hour from a guy on you from X amount of feet out.
Yeah, and that's like usually like backhand goals are like with inside the circle. He was pretty far away from the goalie on that goal, and when I saw it, it's like it's Sid being Sid. This is what you've come to expect. He's been doing it now. He's been doing it since he was 18 in the league, and he's 35 years old, and just doing these amazing things. And we're still awed by, but at the same time, like, Sid did that. Okay, move on next, because he's going to do it again.
Right.
It seems like he has like a handful of those goals in him a year, where it's just something spectacular. And then you go back and, he's a laundry list in his career of these insane goals, where people are lucky to have 1 or 2 goals like that. He's had highlight reels.
How many people have, just in 17 years of their life has accomplished, in nearly what Sidney Crosby has done? Just take any 17 years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even put 17, I can't put 5 years together where I'm happy with, everything. It's just an amazing, like I said, we're spoiled. We're going to appreciate this one day when these guys are gone and it's a whole nother team and we're not winning games. Boy, we're going to appreciate these guys.
We're getting ready for the olden days of the Rico Fata era.
Yeah.
Oh,
let me go back to the olden days with one other thing that I do have, Mike. I did pull this up in Derby. I pulled this up the Penguins are listed in the last 5 in the NHL for worst broadcasting teams. And here was here's the note that came along with that. It feels so incredibly dull. Like this broadcast team is stuck in a different era. They put the Penguins in the last 5 spots, and they say that it feels so incredibly dull. It's like we're stuck in a whole different era. Now, I don't know many other hockey teams. I don't watch other hockey teams home. So I don't know what's old here, Mike. I don't know. I don't get it, but only because I don't watch other hockey teams home games from their city. So I don't know. What is it about this broadcasting team would make them say this? And
they're not that.
It's normal to me, because this is all I've ever known as a hockey fan.
Yeah, but it's still what Bob Berry and Steve Mears are the play-by-play guys. Bob Berry's he's such a homer.
Yeah,
I'm just not listen. I just don't get it. I prefer the radio crew. Give me Borky flipping out on the team. He's not afraid to go off on the team. Yeah, but the TV side, outside of Dan Potash, I'm not a big fan of the TV.
And that's what they said. Everybody pretty much outside of Potash.
Yeah, Potash is entertaining. He's a weird guy, an odd dude. He's entertaining, but the other ones, I just don't have much use for him anymore. If I tune them out. A lot of hockey announcers I don't like. Spoiled. Once again, spoiled. We grew up with Mike Lang,
right?
The greatest hockey announcer of all time. So everyone else pales in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when it comes to like hockey, I can't listen to any other announcer. Even it's hard for me to listen to even the ones we have. And if I like them, it's still hard because it's not Mike Lang, which is unfair to all those announcers. But I'm just glad it's no longer Paul Staggerwell doing the announcing. I'd hang myself.
Yeah. Okay.
It's never a Staggy guy.
I'm gonna start listening to some other maybe watching Penguin away games on somebody else's network to just
and watch them. Yeah, that might be the way to go to get a feel. Of course, I was never a big fan of Mike Emmerich, and people loved him.
Yeah, right.
I was just and then two.
Right.
You're annoying. Sit down, shut up. You're cool because you like the Buccos. You can talk Bucco baseball. I'd rather have you announce baseball than hockey.
Right.
He would for me, he would make baseball exciting. For hockey, he annoys me.
Speaking of baseball, guys, big signing yesterday. A big signing in Pittsburgh. Potato Pete is back. I don't know if anybody caught this. Potato Pete is back. If you were go to the Pirate game, and one of the most exciting parts of the Pirate game is watching the pierogies race around the outfield fence, then you were in luck. Potato Pete is back. I don't know why Potato Pete wasn't there. I don't even know the other guys. I just know that it's a thing and people were excited for. And you know what? Like I said, that fits the keyhole because this is what people go to Pirate games for. Obviously, it's not the baseball. It's not a competitive team. Mm-hmm. Potato Pete is back, guys. So
I'm all about the pierogi races, baby.
Like the pierogi races?
Potato Pete, man, was he holding out for more money?
He might have been.
Like, I
think there's an onion ring in there now.
He's seen the money that's being passed around, and this guy's like, give me some of that money. He tested free agency and found out, the market for Potato Pete is not what he thought it was. He's coming crawling back. Back.
And maybe
he'll be like Terrell Edmonds. Edmonds thought, maybe last year he might get a good free agent contract. He's going to come back this year, play solid again, and then boom, he's going to get a better contract to go somewhere else. Potato Pete is the Terrell Edmonds.
Every team has their own theme. Like the Brewers, they have them sausages.
Yeah,
remember Jonathan or Randall, whatever it was, he smacked it.
I love that one. My favorite, by the way.
And then this Potato Pete really thought that he could just go anywhere. Somebody's going to sign me. I'm Potato Pete, but you just can't throw Potato Pete in with the sausages.
You can't. No.
That'd be weird.
But you never know. He might fit in. Little meat and potato action there.
There you go.
See, look, gears are always rolling.
Pirates, they were off yesterday, but they are back in action today at 1:05. They play the Boston Red Sox. But also we do have a bunch of college basketball today, guys. That starts at 6:30. So there is some different things going on. We got Pirates, we got basketball, we got hockey. But what I want to talk about most, guys, is football today. I'm going to start in the USFL real quick before we get in the NFL. I talked about the new Steeler helmets that were revealed the other day. Mike, the new uniforms are going to be revealed today. So you may be swimming around online and come across the new Pittsburgh Maulers uniforms. I'm going to give you a hint. They're probably very similar to the Steelers. I'm not going to lie. I'll be surprised if they're not because, again, the helmets were almost. Check for yourself, please. And also, it's 23 days till kickoff to the USFL, guys. 23 days. That's just a little over 3 weeks. That would be the weekend, a little bit more than 3 weeks from now. So we got some more football. XFL, we'll be talking more XFL tomorrow going into the weekend. But now, guys, I want to talk about, in all seriousness, Derby, you could wake up now and we could talk about some NFL football. Before you talk about the Steelers, the Jets now, they are becoming my least favorite team. Last year, I was pulling for the little guys. This year, you get a little bit better. I'm pulling for them a little bit more. But now they signed that Hardman, that the Chiefs receiver Hardman. This Aaron Rodgers situation to me is turning into the LeBron James situation to me in the NBA. This guy wouldn't go play unless he had all these things in place for him. And that pisses me off because who are you, for one? Go back to Green Bay. Nobody cares about Aaron Rodgers. I want to see this team fail so bad now, and it sucks because they're just going out and they're bringing in all these pieces. I want him. Get out of here. No.
Like, pieces too. I
mean, why can't everybody? Ben could have did that. Ben could have said, you know what? I want this guy. I want that guy. I want this guy. This guy's an idiot. This Aaron Rodgers. You know what? I put up with him on his dumb commercials for 20 freaking years. It seemed like. And I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this one guy gets his way with all this stuff.
Like McCole Hardman is not really adding a lot to the team here.
But you know what? Every time I turn around, he was catching passes in Kansas City. Plus everything else that the Jets have done to this point. I think that in the he's given.
I think the Jets are stupid.
I hope they fail. You know what? Like I said, they were kind of my dumpy team, my team that I went to last year on a side, like my side chick, my side team. And you know what? I hope they get crushed this year. I hope that Aaron Rodgers gets crushed. I hope the Jets suck. And
they traded away Elijah Moore.
Yeah, when he went to Cleveland, right?
To Cleveland. Yeah, they end up getting a second round for him.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan. I don't like this Aaron Rodgers. I don't like what he's done. I just go play somewhere.
He's going to ruin the Jets. He's going to ruin my love.
He hasn't been himself since that fluke of a Super Bowl. Okay.
Well, here's the thing about ruining the Jets. The Jets don't need to be ruined anymore. They're going to all jump into this because it sounds like a great idea. Let's bring this Hall of Fame quarterback over. Let's bring in some guys that he wants. Let's do what he wants to do. Meanwhile, the Packers ain't won nothing in 10 years. And then once he retires, they're going to be back to being the Jets, probably in a worse position that they were, because who knows what they're giving up to bring I just don't know. I don't follow them that close. But then they're going to turn around and they're going to be as bad as they ever were. I think this is a terrible move for the New York Jets. Also in the AFC East.
Yeah, F Aaron Rodgers.
Also in the AFC East, I do want to bring up something. Juju. Now, Juju's been a bit of a character, and I know where Mike stands against him or with him. Now, Juju and Bill Belichick, the more I think about this, that's going to be an interesting. What becomes of Juju's career playing under Bill Belichick? Do you think that it actually is going to make him a good receiver? I mean, we've talked about the kind of receiver he's been for the past X amount of years. Does Bill Belichick turn him into a legit wide receiver in the NFL, a guy that's actually going to have value, a guy that you're not going to laugh at when they say that, hey, they got Juju. Oh, who cares? It's just Juju. When the time is done with Juju playing in New England, is this going to be a whole new Juju? Plus, he's going to be a few years older. So are we going to have a different guy, or is Juju just going to be Juju and
Juju's going to be Juju, and their freaking quarterback sucks. There you go.
Yeah, and he has there's like no one around him really to draw the attention away.
And they're bringing guys in. They're not even guys I've ever heard of. So I don't know what they're doing in New England.
They brought Paris Campbell in, but
he's not a number one either. They have Aguilar, but Aguilar's a free agent, I think. They have no one. Like, there's no real number one. They got rid of Jonnu Smith, so they got Gesicki, but I don't think Gesicki is going to be enough to draw the attention away to open up the spots for Juju, and they don't have a dominant running game to take the heat off of Juju, so he's just going to be a guy up there again. He'll get those catches across the middle because that's what Juju does. He's a good slot receiver, but he's nothing special. And
Mac Jones is not Patrick Mahomes.
Exactly. No, Mac Jones is not, Roethlisberger either.
And nobody thinks that he is. You know what I mean? We all know. We all know what we're going to get with Mac Jones, and I think New England's
a whole lot of
realize that as well.
I just think it's funny Juju went there because of the picture that happened a couple years ago.
Yeah, what was that? Explain this picture to me. I keep seeing it, but I don't know what the hell happened.
He met a fan that was a fan of his, but he was wearing a Patriots at the time, and he was like a rookie. He was like in the second year as a rookie, and he flipped them off in the picture.
Oh, okay.
As you should do.
I don't know. I just don't know what Juju. I don't know what to make at first.
I just think it's funny that
he's
went there.
Juju's he's overrated. He's a good. But
is he though? I kind of see. I mean,
he is. Like, you take away we saw when he was the number one receiver for the Steelers, he did nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody thinks that Juju Smith-Schuster is great. I think that
his fans do.
As we said in the earlier part of the week, that I think Derpy came out and said that he had really, he was the leading receiver for the Chiefs. Or I don't even know what he was when he was with the Chiefs, but I don't know anybody that thinks he's great, especially if you're from Pittsburgh.
No, there's the Juju fanatics on
Twitter. He was like my favorite player at the time.
I liked when he hit
yes,
perfect.
Exactly. Yes,
I mean, like that stuff was
that one
fun.
right there. That's why he was my favorite player. Because I freaking hate the Bungles.
Maybe he just has to be a part of something bigger to be successful. And that's if that's the case, that's fine. You have guys that are like that. They're just you're not the number one, and you just accept it. But I don't see it with him. I don't see. I say he's a decent two at best.
At best, decent two.
Yeah.
At very best.
So that's going to be interesting.
But he's a great number 3, man. He's a great third option for your team.
So that's what comes back to the question with Belichick with me. I mean, this guy's done some pretty amazing things with, in his time as a head coach in the NFL. And it just makes me wonder what guy is Juju going to be when his time is said and done in New England? Is he going to be a more mature guy? Again, with his age, he's going to be a couple years older, playing for Belichick. I mean, he coaches, he has a different style. That's, what is that going to do for Juju's career? Is it going to make him a better football player? Is it going to make him more successful? Is that going to make him be a number one day? Or is he just always going to be the, solid 2, big time 3?
That's it right there. That's the ceiling of his career is a solid 2. He's, if like he matures, it's all going to be because of Belichick. No, because like you said, he's getting older.
Right.
Because we all have known people that were young and stupid, and then they reach a certain age and they're not that way anymore. And Juju might be going that way. He was young and immature, and he's finally getting older and realized, okay, I don't need to do all this stupid, silly stuff. Maybe all those people in Pittsburgh that told me, hey, you need to knock this off, they were right, and it took this long to figure it out.
I think he's fun. I don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the guy. I never seen him do anything that I disliked. I thought that the little bicycle thing at the beginning, he's a character, and you know what I mean. He's not a character that's bringing the team down in a sense where he's getting, untimely penalties and big games and taking suspensions. So I mean, he's kind of an innocent fun. I don't know.
Until he fumbles away games.
I'm just curious to see what player he is when he's done with New England, and I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting thing to monitor.
It is. I'm just tired of Juju.
Let's do a couple more non-Steeler things before we get into our Steelers. Jimmy G again. He's getting lifelong free service at the Bunny Ranch in Reno, Nevada. We talked about the other Bunny Ranch or Cat Ranch or whatever it was chasing him down the other day. Can you believe, Mike, a good-looking starting quarterback in the NFL is getting extra attention from girls?
You know what? This is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Greek God. Jimmy
like this
Garoppolo.
hasn't happened on every level of your life. Think about high school.
Right.
Think about,
the rich get richer.
Yeah.
You know what? Jimmy,
so
Jimmy. Here, listen out here. Since you got multiple offers, accept them all, but have a caveat to where you can, transfer that offer to someone else.
Yeah.
I'll text you my number. I'll call you. We can set something up. You fly me out there, and you take one ranch, I'll take the other. I got you covered, B.
It's unbelievable.
Got you covered.
The stupid guy. He's gonna be out there getting we're over here rubbing 2 sticks together. He's got a blowtorch.
Well, you've seen him.
I know, he's so damn handsome. Leave me alone.
I know, right? You can't.
The Ravens, as far as I know, still has not, Mike, in this free agency, still has not signed an outside free agent. As great as the Ravens were last year, as great as they were in the 2 meetings that we played them, is this team going to be? Can we already count Baltimore out?
Maybe.
I mean, they're doing nothing. They're doing next to nothing.
They're doing nothing. They
have this Lamar Jackson situation that ain't going away. He's just lingering in the bow. I mean, I like our chances with these Baltimore Ravens this year. I think that when people say that Baltimore and Cincinnati are kind of being, they're losing a lot of pieces. That plays in our favor, of course. But you know what? They're still saying that we're the fourth. We have the fourth best chance of winning the division. I disagree with that. I think that Baltimore is the bottom feeder this year.
Yeah, they're bringing back the exact same roster that won 10-7, and
it was not good, Mike.
No,
and they lost people. I mean, they're losing guys off the defensive side. I mean,
I've never seen. Don't get it.
Baltimore be this
Yeah.
unactive, this time of year.
This GM is definitely not Ozzie Newsome.
No.
This GM, he was openly feuding with his number one receiver earlier in the offseason. It's wild. I don't know what they're doing. This team is wild. They are imploding upon themselves. The Browns are the Browns. Hopefully, it might be Pittsburgh, Cincinnati fighting out for the division, boys.
I think it's going to be Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
That would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
Cincinnati, of course, is working themselves into one of the elite teams in the NFL. But you know what? They still have holes. They're still, and also being from the division, we've shown this year. You play this team so much, you see this team so much. Those games a lot of times could go either way. We beat them the first time of the year, which people could call it a fluke or not. But you know what? We went and we had to play the same game, and we get the results to give us the win. So call it whatever you want. Second game, we score 30 points. You only lose by a touchdown. These games, Mike, against Cincinnati, are different than everybody else. I think that I like that idea of it just coming down to us and the Bengals, because I'm not saying that we have the advantage, because they have this quarterback that's amazing. They have, this receiver that's amazing. They have a lot of good things going on, but I don't put them head and shoulders better than us. I think the fact that we're division teams is going to keep that close the whole way through the season.
I hope you're right. Just their offense is just so explosive, though. I think they have a huge edge right there.
Yeah.
Like defense, I think overall we have a better defense, but they're that explosiveness on the offense is what scares me about that team. You can have a terrible O-line, but you can get those receivers open and Burrow's getting the ball out fast. It doesn't matter. That's what scares me about that team. And T. Higgins, they need to trade T. Higgins. Do what's best for the team, for Burrows, and for Jamar Chase. That's going to free up a bunch of money.
Steelers.
Yeah. It's good. Hey, if tangentially, that's going to help us, but that's going to help your main too. You get rid of T. Higgins.
Yeah.
If you want, Omar Khan is a great negotiator. I'm sure we can give you up a 6th round pick next year for T. Higgins. I think that's fair value.
Yeah, I'd like to see T go somewhere too. I don't want to see all three of them guys.
Just go somewhere else, guys. It's going to help you financially as a team. The Brown family, they're notoriously cheap. Just trade them all.
We'll go from T to P over on the message board. P says, I was young and stupid until about 43. I was responsible enough to not have a family, though. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, you could be young and stupid all your life if you want to.
You can.
There's nothing set in stone, but P hit it on the head here. He was responsible enough to not have a family, which that really goes in your favor if you do go that route. Otherwise, you do have to tighten it up. You do have to start taking care of people. Blah blah blah, all that kind of fun stuff. P,
it sucks late in life.
What's that?
I was immature until I had a kid like 4 years ago. This ain't fair.
Yeah.
Well, like your history lesson for the day. The Romans. Adolescence didn't end at for us, we say 18, you're no longer an adolescent, you're an adult.
Right.
Like adolescence was up until you became mature enough to be considered an adult. And that could be like up into your 30s and 40s.
Yeah. I mean, you see 60-year-old men running around doing goofy shit.
Doing stupid things. They're still an adolescent. They haven't matured into an adult yet.
The story the other day, Mike Derpy, I don't know if you guys seen this. Ben came out on this podcast, and this is old news. We found this out at the end of last year that the 49ers were attempting to get a hold of Big Ben Roethlisberger to have him fill in when they had this quarterback situation. Of course, their starter goes down, their second string guy goes down, their third string, and they were looking for a guy to lead the way. My biggest issue with this, no other than what if Ben would have led the 49ers to their sixth Super Bowl championship? Would that have not have been like the worst thing ever in the world for the Steelers fans?
That would be great. I would have loved it. The hysteria from the Yinzers, who couldn't wait for him to retire. Then when he did retire, boo-booed when he retired. Then he would have come out. They would have been in an uproar again. To me, it would have been perfect. It would have been beautiful. Would
that have changed your love for Big Ben Roethlisberger, Derpy? If he would have went to San Francisco and won their sixth Super Bowl and tied the Steelers all time, would that have changed the way that you feel about him ultimately?
Somewhat.
He could be the first quarterback to ever win two teams' sixth Super Bowls. That'd be a pretty amazing feat.
It would have been a bit cool, but I mean, as long as it's not, the Ravens or the Patriots, I don't,
Yeah.
See, no, I would have loved it. I would love to see Ben come out there and lead that team to a Super Bowl, because the Yinzers would have been flipping out over so many things.
Oh,
him
definitely.
coming back, going to another team, him
But
winning.
I do think I
them
know
being
why.
like, why? Yeah,
Sorry.
them being like, why he couldn't do it here. It's wild.
And we all, I read this, but Derpy, please go ahead and tell everybody why he didn't do it.
One word. Anyone around here know the one word I'm going to say?
Loyalty.
Loyalty.
Absolutely. I like it. He had said that he did not want to give up he wanted to remain loyal to the black and gold. He thought it would have been odd to go somewhere else and possibly win. I like it. You don't get this from many guys anymore in the NFL and major sports. I like the loyalty. Kudos to you, Big Ben, for not going and winning Super Bowls elsewhere. Especially the team that would have tied us in the overall race.
If that was me, I'm like, how much money are we talking? How much money are we talking? How much cap space you got? How many zeros? We talking? Sign that check. I'll come out there. My elbow's going to blow out in 4 throws anyway, boys.
The thing is, the guy's already set. He's riding off into the sunset. You know what I mean? He's lived his life. He has his money. He has his family. He had his career. Now it's time to just enjoy life. He doesn't want any complication. He doesn't want any, what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't want to, I think that he doesn't want to strum up any controversy. He just wants to be Ben and have people love him.
Well, I was listening to his podcast, and
he did the episode
when he had Coach Tomlin on, Ben had a comment going, I still feel like I could play last year. Like, he still wanted to play.
Do you remember him playing his last couple of years?
You know what?
It was rough, man.
His arm falling off. He moved that offense a whole hell of a lot better than both of our quarterbacks last year. I'd take Ben out there in a walker over the 2 we got now. We'd still
absolutely
be
not, man. Absolutely not. You're insane. You always make me dip into the Penn State, but I'm gonna close to the end today. So I'm gonna leave the Penn State alone today, and I'm gonna jump on them first thing in the morning. But go ahead,
real quick. So this is a couple weeks old. Someone tweeted out, like, no joke, I'm playing Madden and I'm in the year 2033. Ben Roethlisberger still has yet to retire. I keep offering him 1-year contracts. I saw that. I was like, oh, that is so perfect. That would be Ben. If Ben's elbow wasn't blown up, he would be that guy. I think he likes football that much.
His elbow was blown up, and he was a very ineffective quarterback in his last couple of years. I think we could all agree on that.
7 come from behind victories in his last year, baby.
Hey, put him on your squad.
I'd take him.
Put him on your Browns. See how he does.
I'm not the Browns fan. I'm not Derpy. Derpy's a plant.
Bud Dupree's text message. Anybody see his cryptic text message yesterday? He implies that he may be making a big return to the Steelers in 2023. Now that Terrell Edmonds is gone, this clears up some more money, guys. Possibly a Bud Dupree return, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. To me, I mean, this Terrell Edmonds is news to me. I got on today. I didn't know this information. So, I mean, this opens up a lot of doors. I'm going to watch today and see what could still happen. I know that the free agency pool is not looking too fantastic at this point. Everybody that was worth anything is pretty much somewhere. But I'd like to see what Omar Khan does with this freed up money, because you got your 2 starting safeties, Mike. But do you really trust these 2 starting safeties to play that run stop defense that Terrell Edmonds was pretty good at playing?
They need someone else, because Minka, if you needed to play strong, he could play strong. But I want Minka.
But you don't want him playing strong.
Yeah, I want Kazee to be Kazee. I want him to be able to move around. I think if they don't find someone in free agency, now they might take at 17 Brian Branch. Possibly. No, he's more along that lines of like the guy you can put everywhere out there. He's not your typical big thumper, or he's that guy that can play every position. I haven't looked yet to see what safeties are available. I fucking fallen asleep on the job here, but Dupree, him coming back, I think that might happen anyway, whether we re-signed Edmonds or not. But now,
I think it's inevitable now that we have.
I think it is now too, because there's not a lot of good strong safeties out there.
We do know that we have a corner, my good James St. Pierre. He is back for 1 year. I don't know if we
James St. Pierre.
He is
James Pierre.
What did I say? St. Pierre.
You
Brian
said, yeah,
St. Pierre.
you combine James Pierre
now, he's
and
back
Brian
on a
St. Pierre into
one-year
one
deal.
person.
So you know what? He was a solid DB. So you know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be curious to see what this defensive backfield is able to do this year.
Like I'm seeing like Keanu Neal's out there. He might be a guy. He's not the greatest.
Yeah.
But you know, he could be someone. Kareem Jackson. There's just like no one really out there. Carl Joseph, he was on our team last year, but he was a backup. He's not going to be a starter. There's just no real good strong safeties out there that are like wowing.
And like you had said, you don't want Minka, who's totally capable of playing strong. But just think of, go back, think of Troy Polamalu, as good as he was, and he could have played strong. But you didn't want Troy Polamalu playing strong. You wanted Troy Polamalu in positions to make plays.
Yeah.
And I think you want the other guy opposite Minka Fitzpatrick to be able to be the guy to step up in the box, to stop the run, to play that kind of game while Minka is back there able to make the plays. Don't get me wrong, KZ is totally capable of making the plays as well, but somebody's got to be able to step up and go into the box and stop the run and things like that. Which, you know what, these guys know what they're doing. I like Con. I like with Waddle. These guys are they're doing some good stuff, Mike. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm just curious to see what they do to fix this.
Adrian Amos, maybe he's another one. He was a free safety, but he's a pretty good run stopper. He's not that big. He's 6'2", 214. He can step up there and tackle a running back. I'm just trying to find safeties out there that can
say famous Amos.
Famous Amos, no, Adrian Amos. He's a Penn Stater. That's why I went that way.
Guys, real quick. So we are down to 4 minutes. We did the new numbers got revealed yesterday for the 5 new incoming Pittsburgh Steelers from the free agency market. Patrick Peterson is going to be number 20. Landon Roberts is going to be number 50. Cole Holcomb is going to be 55. Nasty Nate is going to be 71. And Isaac Scalamalu is going to be 73. Let me ask you guys before we start wrapping things up here. Derpy, Mike, out of these 5 guys, who do you think at the end of the day, 5 years from now, we're going to look and we're going to say, wow, this guy here is still playing high-level football on this team. I'm so glad we signed this free agency back in 2023. Of these 5 guys, who do you think it's most likely to be that guy? Got the 2 linebackers, the 2 linemen, and Patrick Peterson.
Holcomb.
How about you, Big D?
One of the linebackers. So I would probably have to agree with Holcomb.
Of course, we don't believe it's going to be Peterson because he only has so much left in the tank.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman, I think that Nasty Nate's a little bit overrated at this point for Pittsburgh fans. I think that we're thinking he's a little bit more than what he is.
I watch out for Rhodes too.
What's that?
I watch out for Rhodes too.
And I just think that either the guard here we got from Philadelphia or Holcomb could be that guy. I think, possibly even Roberts. Robert, he's a hit stick too. And I think that he can make waves. But again, I don't think Nasty Nate's going to be the guy. I don't think that Pat Pete's going to be the guy. But again, we do have their numbers, though. So now we can keep track of who they are.
I think Holcomb, the way his career was projecting, playing out in Washington.
Yeah. If he wasn't playing for Washington, he'd probably have more exposure.
Yeah. And, that foot injury set him back last year.
Right.
He was, tearing it up. Just tackling machine.
And what do we say? He had 70 more tackles than Devin Bush with the exact amount of games played. I mean,
and he missed a ton of games too for last year.
Yeah, Roberts, my bad. Roberts. That's who I was talking about.
Okay, all right. I was confused, but now it's all coming together. I agree with you as well. He could also be in that list, Derpy. It is the 2-minute warning, fellas. Mike, why don't you go tell everybody about the website?
2Yinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZERS.com. Head on over there. We have links for everything: YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you can find 2Yinzers. You can find it over at 2Yinzers.com. Also, merchandise store, 2Yinzers.com.
www.2Yinzers.com. Check it out, everybody. There's a lot of things over there. As Mike said, we are live every day, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the show that we do that particular day goes up at 8 o'clock in the evening over on Spotify if you're just able to listen to the show, not watching. So go check that out over on Spotify. Guys, are you ready for a quick trivia for the day? Quick trivia of the day.
I am ready.
All right. You in on this one, Derp?
I'm ready.
My man. Here we go. This is a Pittsburgh Penguins trivia. Coming off the big game. I think it was only fair to go Penguins on this. Here we go. The last time the Penguins did not make the playoffs, they had 2 head coaches that season. Can you name the 2 head coaches the last time the Penguins did not make the playoffs? They had 2 head coaches that season, one to start the season and a different one to end the season. And this would be in the year 05. We'll start with Derpy. Last time the Penguins did not make the playoffs, which was 05, they had 2 different coaches that year. One started the season, one ended the season. Who are those coaches?
I'm going to be real. I don't remember how it's about.
Fair enough. All right. You want to take a stab? You want to throw a couple names out there just so I could buzz you?
2005.
No, I'll pass.
Okay.
I'm going to pass. Mike probably knows it.
I'm struggling.
Was 05. They started the season with a coach and they ended the season with a different coach. This was their last non-playoff season in 05. Who were the coaches?
Is Michel Therrien one of them?
Michel Therrien. Okay.
Or Therrien. Is he one of them?
I mean, I can't tell you. That's part of the answer.
Yeah. Michel Therrien and Dan Bylsma.
Dan Bylsma and Michel Therrien. And is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's gonna be my final answer.
All right, let's go and lock you in. I'm gonna lock Derpy in first, so you can think about it.
Lock Derpy in with his big nothing burger. I like it. Derpy's playing smart, so just admit you don't know it, buddy. I like it because I'm gonna be embarrassed.
All right, and Mike, you said Dan Bylsma and Michel Therrien. That's your final answer. All right. So here we go. Last time the Pittsburgh Penguins did not make the playoffs, they had 2 head coaches that season in 05. The 2 head coaches, Mike said, were Michel Therrien and Dan Bylsma. Let's see if that is correct. Ooh,
damn.
So sorry. Eddie Olczyk, Mike, coached from October to December of that season. Michel Therrien coached from December to April of the last time the Pittsburgh Penguins did not.
That's because Bylsma came in, took over for him. Then we won the cup. I got the time. I thought he was there a full season, then won the cup.
Bylsma came and won the cup. Michel Therrien lost the first cup.
That's
to the
right, because
him
and Sully had the same. We take over someone and we win a cup.
P. Morton said no idea. That's all right, my man. The final answer on that was Eddie Olczyk and Michel Therrien. But great job, guys, as always. Mike, do you have anything before we take off for the day, sir?
Oh yeah. Real big news over at our store. The 2 Dumb Yinzers merchandise store, 2-dumb-yinzers.myspreadshop.com. A new design is a silhouette of an owner of a team in Pittsburgh with the name Bob Nothing.
There you go,
Bob
everybody.
Nothing design is out just in time for baseball season.
I love it. I love the timing. Couldn't be any better. There you go. Over to the store, everybody. Over at the store, go check out the new design, Bob Nothing, for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Created by my co-host, the co-creator,
what's
driving
so funny?
Force. This guy right over here.
It's so funny in my video, you're pointing right at Derpy.
See, in my video, I'm pointing to nothing. If I go this way, I'm pointing at you.
But it's all right, everybody. It's a pretty dope picture. It's an awesome shirt. Go check it out. Derpy, what do you have before we go ahead and take off for the day, sir?
I got it. Hold on.
Go on.
He's got it.
Fire away.
This is for obviously this is Steelers related.
Okay.
And if you knew about this quarterback previous, then you know what I'm gonna go with this.
Spit it out, my friend.
Tommy Maddox is the real MVP because without him, Ben would have never happened.
He's the real MVP.
You know what? It's true. It's true. If he wouldn't have went down,
damn true.
Damn true. You know what? And here's the thing about Tommy Maddox. He took that big injury with being paralyzed. And you know what? He came back. And if he would have done well, you know, who knows? Who knows how things would have turned out? Derpy, I couldn't agree more. 3 cheers for Tommy Maddox. But hey, everybody, we do want to say thank you for checking us out. We hope you continue to do so. We appreciate each and every one of you. And for Derpy, Mike, Ryan, the 2 Dumb Yinzers, have a great